Well, good morning to each and every one of you all, and welcome to beautiful, beautiful Barbados. And we're here for a sunrise this morning. Yeah, we didn't get the opportunity to put up any notification or anything. It was sort of like a last-minute decision, but we really want to come out. We know the winds are a little bit strong. They're gusting a little bit. Tomorrow's a lot lighter, but really want to come out this morning. Needed a little boost up from the kind of feelings that we get out here. Of course, we've been saturated with serenity and peace, and as you can see quite clearly, beauty beyond belief. Good morning to my beautiful wife. Sorry you're not here with me this morning. Good morning to each and every one of you all. We are the Journey 246. We're bringing you Barbados live. So if you're seeing this at this very moment, means, well, if you're seeing that in this part of the video later on today, it's not meaning what I'm about to say. But if you're here with us right now, you are one of our EMC Live warriors. You're the energy and the encouragement and the inspiration that we utilize to harness up ourselves to go forward on this journey. So thank you for joining us this morning. You're also awakening in Barbados. So wherever you are in this world right now, and you're looking at your screen, you're awakening in Barbados. This is not a pre-recorded video. This is a live broadcasting. We are right now up in Cambridge Ridge, very close to the Bay Lounge, just to give you a bearing. Looking down on the coastline itself. You're seeing, well, I hope you're seeing, because I'm not sure your resolution on the other side. It looks great to me, but not sure what you're seeing. But as we start to work our way along the coastline, you will see they have some dotted rocks out in the distance. That is not Joe's River, that is actually Tent Bay around there, and then go up into Glen Burnie, then into Martins Bay, and then we work our way up from there straight into the Bath area, Conga Bay, Bath, etc. And then of course, right, the very last point we're seeing, that is way up, and that is right up by Concept Bay itself. So beautiful, beautiful morning. We didn't even know where the sun was coming this morning, because we haven't had any sunrises on the side for a little while. We've had some inclement weather and things, so we've sort of like stayed away. It's a long drive, as you can appreciate, for the south coast at 5 a.m. and a quick one as well to get here in time for this beautiful sunrise. But we really want to share the beauty of Barbados with you. We're going to say our serenity prayer now. In case you're not familiar with that, it is a prayer that gives myself and Jeanette and others, millions of people, guidance as to what we're responsible for. What are we responsible for? That would be ourselves only. Not responsible for what other people do. Not responsible for anything at all besides ourselves, our characters, our personalities, our hearts, our humanity part. That is what we are responsible for. Everything else is out of our hands and out of our control. So there's a prayer that keeps reminding us of that. When tough times come up, we say the serenity prayer, because there are things we have no control over, and we just leave them in the hands of God. So if you'd like to join us now, please do so. All others will be back to you in a couple of moments' time. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. Morning, my brother. How you going, man? How can I see? Well, with this camera, let me show you. Let me show you. You mean the shadows?
No, right ahead of us there.
Uh-huh.
A little black thing bobbing on the water out there.
Well, you got better eyes than me.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it.
My brother, you're on YouTube, man. Good morning to you, man. You're blind all over the world, man. Thanks for positive energy.
Yeah.
Thanks for bridge and love, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
respect, man.
We have a lot.
Oh yeah, lots of share, lots of share.
Yeah, to this every morning.
My, what's your name, man? I've got a, sorry?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Ryobi.
Ryobi? You've seen our vlogs before?
FA?
You've seen our vlogs, us doing videos out here? Never before?
Yeah.
Wow, man, you're on YouTube?
Yeah.
Check out the Journey 246. That easy to remember. Is the journey. We all on our own journey. Yeah. And then 246 being Barbados' area code. Okay. All right, so the Journey 246. Come and check out, see what we do. Yeah, come and see yourself, because you're starring this morning, man. Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely. So what do you think? What do you think is the dark spot? I can't really see it, but what do you think is the dark spot over there?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it right out ahead of us.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but I can't see what it is.
You can't pick up what it really is.
See, you can't see real calm today. It doesn't have its usual big East Coast swell and stuff, but they got a big swell, suppose you can. Not a big one, but a nice one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All last you was talking about the north swell.
Yo. Got a little north coming in this week.
A north swell.
Yeah, a little one coming in.
How do you see getting up a kind of?
Right, so you live in this area?
Yeah, I live in Chalky.
What is it like to wake up in the morning out here, man?
Hey, man.
Tell me, share it with the public.
The most warm, the most freshest air.
Yeah.
You can breathe.
Yeah.
on the east.
And you watch the sunrise every morning?
Every morning.
So basically you're giving thanks as soon as you come out here and you open your eyes.
As soon as they get over my house.
I love it, man.
You see different colors in the sky.
Yeah. Beautiful this morning, man. Yeah, for real. My brother, have a good day, man. Whatever you do, man, enjoy yourself, right? Because you start a lot of people with enjoy and love, man. All right? Go good, man, for sure. All right, so as you see, this is what we really concentrate on. It's bringing the beauty of the people of Barbados. And again, we're going to reiterate, this does not mean you have to be Bajan born. If you're living here or you come here even on a part-time basis and you've adopted our attitudes and mentalities, you are referred to as living the Bajan style culture. That will be sharing love and kindness and happiness. All right, we're going to make our way down. We're not stopping on the hill. We're going to be watching the sunrise because we walk in that direction. I am not as adventurous as to run over the corner there. I'm going to come down this way here. Okay, I really don't go upside down then, especially with the camera on. Though you all won't see it, I would know it and I'd be embarrassed then. Jeez. All right, so beautiful, beautiful country. I don't know if you are friends with or if you have ever checked a gentleman called 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐍𝐄𝐒𝐒, I call him Blood, or my cousin Vicky, of course. They do hiking all through the terrains in areas where the normal person would not go. So if you put in his name, that'll be 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐍𝐄𝐒𝐒, and have a look at some of his photos that they take, because they hike every week in these areas out here. I've done quite a bit of hiking myself in these areas, in these immediate hills, but they go into all the valleys and country areas that you may want to see. So have a look at their photos. We're going to be joining them one of these days. I told them as soon as I get Jeanette fit enough, because I'm fit all the time, we will be joining them so we could take in one of their hikes as well. We will do it in 4K because of obviously signal in those areas can be a little bit iffy or tricky. So we'll do it in 4K. All right, we don't want to go down the way that he just went down because then we can lose that cell signal behind him on. So we can look, see if we can get down in this area here. If any of you are not familiar where we are, overlooking Barclays Park. This is on the east coast of the island. We're overlooking Cattlewash into Bathsheba. Just down below, you can see the face, or what resembles the face of Chalky Mount. That's just over there. Over here you will see all the gabling that I put in to stop the land from sliding, and right above it is the Bay Lounge. So if you're familiar with Bay Lounge, you've had quite a few beers in that back terrace. You enjoy some of their lovely food and stuff. That is one of the places that we went for one of our mobile offices, but we haven't been for a little while. So, and, you can always check it out for yourself. Plan it into the island tour. Beautiful, beautiful Barbados. You want to see as much of it as possible. It's absolutely stunning out here. All right, so up here, very different makeup of cellular textures, etc. So you're going to want to make sure and wear your hikers. Do not wear slippers out here. Do not wear shoes like normal running shoes that might only have little tracks cut in them, because you're going to slide out here. Out here has a lot of loose surface under it. So you're going to want to have something fairly sturdy and something with some big grips. All right, we're going to have to go back this way because you really want to go is overgrown. We had a video up on YouTube as well of when they release a goat and also sheep from out here. In that house is a farmer just up there who releases them on the morning. You should see them coming across the edges out here. It's amazing how a goat finds the most difficult terrain to run over. Something that you would be terrified and think you're going to fall and hurt himself, but no, they do it well. Up here suffers a lot land slippage, also from erosion. So any water that comes off these hills is going to cut its way down. Years ago we had adventure land tours. We also have Island Safari. Island Safari still in existence, adventure land tours now. They used to come up into this area and descend through tracks down here. I've also done it as well before in my previous war wagon. I haven't done it in this one. Roads are just a little bit too decayed and moved around now, so we obviously err on the side of caution as we make our ways around. Slippery, 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 because as you can appreciate, a lot of clay in this mud, so it sticks into your tracks. It will throw you down quite easily, so be careful if you are coming into these hills. We're trying to encourage you to do some other stuff in Barbados that you would not normally do. So that is the reason we're bringing you here and also showing this, so that you can see Barbados is certainly not tired. Someone sent a comment to me and said, I don't know why people say Barbados is tired. I never got tired in Barbados. Well, that's because you keep looking, because you keep enjoying, and you don't just take for granted all the beautiful blessings that you've been given to live here in Barbados. That is for sure. So if you did, then you would know Barbados doesn't get tired. For the visitor that comes here and lies on the beach all the time, same beach, same location, same people just hanging around with them all the time. Not saying they don't hang out with pigeons, but in that only one location. For all of you all, I'm telling you, it's time to bring your hikers. If you cannot hike because you have challenges and stuff, Just bring some nice beach shoes. You can walk in the beach a little bit, get a little bit of the adventure behind what you would normally see, and have a look at the beauty of Barbados. It is absolutely unbelievable. Another beautiful lookout point. Just over from here, where you're seeing that loose soil, or the top surface soil that's missing, that is a place that we call Grand's Lookout. It used to have a beautiful little shanty right on top of that there. You guys used to hang out and thing, which we have also used as well in rainy conditions. That got blown down. I think it was Elsa that we had. That is what caused that. Blew that off, blew that away completely. So they haven't reconstructed it. All right, look at the terrain again. Be wary when you're coming down these places, okay, because it does slip from under you. Also, the mud does not look as though it's slippery, but it certainly most definitely is. Mixture of sand and mud and clay. Throw you down for sure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful views. As you can see, we are going to be going back onto the sunrise. We're just showing you around the terrain. We don't. Oh, loss. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you, my brother. Glad to see you joined us. And of course, Jeanette, I see you on. Thank you so much, my darling, for waking up this morning and joining us. Sadly, she's not here at the moment. She will be back in a couple of weeks with us. But until then, we're going to make sure and carry the love and make sure the love flows, because that is something that she and myself are dedicated to, and all the other members of the Journey to 4-6 are only interested in bringing love and happiness and joy, because it takes the edge off of life. We can actually escape the realities for a little while by looking at the screen and walking step by step, side by side, as we're going on to the Journey to 4-6. Beautiful. We have a cell tower here, so we should be getting exceptionally good quality. I'm really hoping so, because the sunrise this morning is going to be spectacular. Good morning to Reg Wilson. I know you've been taking some amazing sunrise up in Ocean City over this last few months. Thank you very much for your dedication and for the beautiful photography you've been putting up. But we're going to be bringing you a little bit of live this morning. We're not having resolution of photos, because we probably only go up at 1080. But at least we go up at 1080 and not 760 or 720 or 360 or something, 480. We go up with a better resolution. We hope. We'll see. We've been in some areas where we've had exceptionally good signal readings, and then we have blurry effects. We're not too sure what's going on there, but our main purpose is to bring you to the beauty. All right, so we talked about Island Safari, Adventureland. This is a lookout point the Island Safari used to come to years ago. Drive right up here and serve you drinks, if you remember that. They haven't done that for a very long time, obviously, because the terrain is gone now. But they used to actually drive up here and serve drinks from this elevation, letting you look at this beautiful, beautiful landscape. So you may have some photos of here in your archives that you've captured over the years if you've taken tours of them, or if you've walked down and descended hills like this. Remember, this is something you can do quite easily. You all can hear I'm talking. I know I'm going downhill. Some can say, man, he's going downhill, so he can talk a lot of nonsense. Yes, I can still talk, though. You would know how strenuous it is to go down some of this terrain here, especially when you got to negotiate these cracks, crevices and stuff. Again, what you want to wear, hikers, there can be cracks that you would have seen above, but will be hidden under this grass. So you want to make sure, if you're doing this kind of off terrain, that you bring hikers with you. Please do not come out with regular software that only has a crisscross pattern in it and no actual nubs in it. You want something that's going to be able to help you if you get any mud into those grip areas. That will help you still to hold your way going down. So bring your hikers, please. I recommend mid cuts. Everyone has a preference. I don't use low cut, no ankle support. I don't use high cut because it limits my flexibility. So I like the mid cut. It protects me from the ankle roll. It also protects my ankles in case I go down any cracks or crevices. So that's something you could look into for sure. You're also going to need beach shoes if you're doing some exploring. A lot of people say you don't need the beach shoes to Barbados. Well, I am going to tell you from my experience that if you don't have beach shoes in Barbados, you're not be able to explore the beaches the way you want to. Of course, you'll be able to walk Rockley or walk Dover. I just call some of the popular ones: Old Town Beach, Brandon's, Drill Hall. Those places you'll be able to walk, of course. However, when you're starting to link them together and go through terrain in between, where you may encounter a couple of areas where you got to go on the main road, especially west, if you're walking the west, you're going to want a pair of good beach shoes. And also because of all the hidden, I would say, dangers that you can find lurking under the sand, especially if you have rough weather. We have old gables that are all rusted out, all the wires sticking up. Sometimes they're just a grain or two under the sand. You don't see them when your pressure goes on them, goes in your foot. So yeah, there are things. And also, you can walk on the reef as well, a lot more comfortable than beach shoes. Just be careful when you go on the reef though, because you know we do have the lionfish, or the stonefish as some people say. You got to be careful of that. Beautiful, beautiful terrain. Suffers tremendously from land slippage. Lots of land slippage, so you won't find a lot of buildings in this immediate area. You can see all of the bare face on the sides of all the mold exposed there and stuff. They would have had recent land slippages. You can see it spotted with grass where that section did not actually go, but you can clearly see all the land slippage that goes on in this area. So if you are coming out here, remember the same way as that slips, you can slip as well too. So please be very, very careful. We're down at a lower elevation now. We've come today particularly because of low tide. Low tide is a big encouragement for us. Although we're up in hills, we are going on the beach, but you can see all the exposed coral or all the exposed reef that's just down here would normally be obscured from vision because of the water that's on top of it. But this morning we can see it beautifully. From this angle here, we can make out, we can begin dead center of the camera right now. You can begin to see the outside rocks of Joe's River. That would indicate that's where Bash Bay is. You may not be able to see it, but I can see it in the distance, the big rock. Actually in Soup Bowl, not Soup Bowl, between Parla and High Rock General area. You can see that out there as well, and you can begin to make out the actual beachfront section. It's going to all lighten up and brighten up as the sun starts to come in. Remember, what you're seeing now is the awakening of the day, the promises of a new day. That's what we're showing you right now. If you are seeing this morning, or even if you don't see this and you do stumble on it later on, you're being blessed with life for another day. So we have our choices. We can be negative and we can look for the ugly and the horrible and criticize and condemn everything in life, and that way then all we do is live in misery because you have no control over anything really that's going on. You have a voice, of course, and you can be heard, but you don't have to live in that all the time. If you do decide to live life that way, you're gonna be missing all the beauty, because right now all you're doing is looking around saying, I don't see nothing out there. I mean, man, I don't know why you're wasting my time on this YouTube for. However, if you're looking for the beauty that surrounds you, you're looking for the peace and you're looking for the happiness, and you just want to grow because of the love that you can generate and the love that you're willing to accept and receive, then you're going to be seeing absolute beauty here right now. And you will go through the day finding the beauty rather than looking for the negatives. We can all find negatives. If that's what you want to live in, that is your choice. As I said before, serenity we practice. We only have control over ourselves, no one else. So we can't force or push anyone in any direction. We just have to let them live their own lives. We can tell them how we live ours, how we have dealt with situations. It may help some, it may not help others, but we still do what we have to do, because the way we are going forward is hand in hand, side by side. No leaders, no leaders and no followers. We all walk together. So we're going to go forward, explain our situations, how we've encountered certain stuff, how we've dealt with certain stuff, how we've kept our sanity, how we've been able to keep the peace around us and stuff, and really enjoy life. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, sun hasn't quite come out behind cloud yet. Talk a little bit about our surroundings. This area is known as Barclays Park. This was a grant the Barbados government for independence, so known as Barclays Park. It was granted by Barclays Park. Beautiful, beautiful area, very natural. Yes, we do have a cell tower. However, that is a necessity. That is not something someone just thrown there because they thought that a tower would look good over on the East Coast. Towers on the East Coast. I hope you all are monitoring the wind turbines that are looking at putting up in different areas in the island. Please, if you have not looked at that, look at Nicholas Abbey's post, look at Animal Flower Cave's post, and join, please. If you want to see wind turbines and hear them whenever you go to these natural and beautiful areas, well, don't do anything about it. But as I said before, you have a voice to be heard. Not that you can make a difference. You can only do what you have to do. Remember, we're supposed to do what we can do. If we have a voice, we should speak out. We don't want any wind turbines on this coastline. Go up in the higher elevation. Anywhere in those ridges, if it must be done, because I don't know what the necessities are, but go to the higher elevations. Don't come down there and spoil the little bit of natural beauty that Barbados has. You don't find anything like this in the west. You don't find anything like this on the east. So, sorry, on the south. So let's leave it for the east. Let's leave the natural Barbados for our generations to come to enjoy the beauty of Barbados that we are presently seeing over here. It's beautiful. All right, so Barclays Park again. Multi-functions have happened out here. We have had, first of all, we have had quite a few of the Boxing Day parties out here. That will be the 26th of December. Day after Christmas. Legendary Boxing Day parties in the early years. First started out in Concept Bay, worked their way right down to Animal Flower Cave by the swamp. Came here a couple of times, went up. Now I think they're up in the middle of the island at the raceway up there, Vaucluse. I think that's where it happens now. Not the same people. At one time we used to have bands, like bands and everything, young bands are aspiring in Barbados that wanted to come out and be heard. They would come and play at some of them. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people all coming to location together, enjoying and having a good time and leaving good behavior at home. That doesn't mean they come down here and do vandalism or anything. It just means they have a real good time. Party. That was hosted in this general area. We've also had quite a few of the party monarchs that were here. They've moved from this area now, but this is a beautiful, beautiful area because it sort of like had an amphitheater. I hope that came out right this time. I'm done with that. All right, we're done with that word. So you all know what I mean though, but it has that kind of effect because it's all elevated gradually. So all of these hills here, not to our right, but to our left especially, all these hills would have had tents, would have had people sitting on them with coolers, big blankets spread out and stuff, enjoying the crop over celebration, which was held right there in that mound in front of the actual tower itself. You'll see a little elevation there. That's usually where the stage was set up. So you were looking down an amphitheater style, looking and overlooking it and enjoying it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful terrain. Unfortunately, I think transport getting here is the only difficult issue. You used to have to park and ride, park up at the Grant Adams Memorial School and other areas and catch a bus down. Or if you were lucky enough to live in this area, you would park. However, very, very, very busy and hard to walk down here. So that may be a reason why they've gone up to the Botanical Gardens, and also Botanical Gardens and other places are beautiful as well. Absolutely beautiful. All right, in the distance here, you'll see a motocross jump, dead center of the camera. There's a lot of off-roading that goes on in Barbados. I won't say a lot of people, but those people are very dedicated to the sport. So you'll find them all along here, along the train line. You'll even find them going up the tracks into 𝐶𝐿𝐒𝐒. That is the truth, up in the back areas. I've seen them up there myself. So you can just listen out for them. If you hear a motorcycle coming, what you know to do, step to the side because you can run a corner hard. Doesn't happen too often. As I said, there are not a lot of people that do it, but they do it quite often. If you are a motorcycle rider, you want to get into something like that there, just Google it up in Barbados, off-road in Barbados. You will find the guys out there, the mud dogs and stuff. You'll also find motorcyclists up there as well if you're interested in doing something like that. But as you can see, that would be a pretty serious jump there for sure over a ravine. The guys here are definitely thrill seekers, very talented riders as well too. You may have seen some of them on the road. We're not comfortable with them, but they are on the road. So if you see them out there, you'll see their skills on display. All right, so this area is also used last year and the year before for the Run Barbados run, for the marathon and half marathon, and also the 10K, 5K, and also the walk started from here this year. We started at Barclays Park itself. The 5K, 10K, marathon and thing all went in the direction northerly and then worked our way around, came back up. The walk went up into Joes River Bridge, across the bridge into Bashma area and back. So that's another event you can take in early December if you are here. That's usually a great fun. It's a lot of international competitors and stuff, and it's an entire week of nothing but activities. Lots of drinking, lots of partying, lots of action. And you can drink A+ like me and say it's drinking, you know, because anytime anybody says, man, you don't drink, I say, oh, what do you think this is in my hand? It's a plus, man, or a Monster or a tonic or something. I know you all have not seen me for the morning and you're very depressed, so let me get rid of your depression now. Yes, I have on no shirt. It is absolutely beautiful. Wind's coming off, you see, stunning. Beautiful conditions. You can see some rain in the distance. We've had some rain coming in the squalls in different sections of the island. Quite amazing little island. 166 square miles, 21 by 14, and then you will find that in the center there was rain, like around Charles Road Bridge. Terrible rain and flooding out there. Cars got washed away and stuff. And then you will find over here on the same day, because I can tell you we were in the tidal pools over in the east coast, brilliant sunshine all day. Went over to the south coast, brilliant sunshine, only rain in the center of the island. So that is the rain belt anyhow down through the St. George Valley area. Beautiful. Majority landscaping out here is taken up by vegetation. The higher ones are sea-grape bush, and then you have grass. You'll also, not really here, but you may find a couple of them fat port in this general area as well. A couple of the bush, I call them bush too. And that, or you'll find them as you get more up in the 𝐶𝐿𝐒𝐒 area. You'll find them up in the mountain, and then if you get down to lakes, just down the corner from us, maybe about 2 kilometers going west, you'll find that's where you find cashew nut fruit, fat port, and also sea grape. Beautiful. We want to descend down here this morning with you. I don't know how many of you walked down this hill, but we want to show you how easy it is if you have on the right gear. I do have on hikers this morning, three-quarter or mid-cut hikers. So I am protecting myself for sure. I don't want to be falling down here, but I want to share with you Something that Jan and myself love to do. We love to take this kind of adventure, walk around the place, take a little bit of the country, walk down onto the beach itself. So this morning, you've got a beautiful view from an elevated area overlooking the entire East Coast. And now we're going to bring you right down on the sand. Saw a gentleman yesterday, actually saw a lot of people yesterday, but yesterday one gentleman in particular said to me, yeah, I saw a couple of your videos, man. I said, well, that's really good. He said, yeah, they're a little bit long. I said, yeah, well, I like to talk a lot. You know what I mean? I like to be honest all the time, whenever I can be anyhow. That's all the time. I like to tell people the truth. I love to talk. I also like to let people take the adventure with us. We don't want to be doing a chop up, edited video where you're seeing up there, seeing down here, haven't seen anything in between, don't know what it's like going on the terrain, really want to see what it was like from different elevations, looking over at the view. That's what we like to do. So yes, our videos will always be longer than the average person, and it's because we don't have a clock on them saying, all right, you gotta stop now because we're using too much data, or you gotta stop now because we just free flow. The Journey 246 is all about freedom of movement, freedom of love, freedom of kindness. You know, if you are finding it difficult to love yourself, you're going to find it 10 times more difficult to love anyone else. So try and love yourself first. Anything that you've done in the past, you have been forgiven for by God, who's the most important person or most important being. And you obviously need to forgive yourself because things have happened in the past, have happened. You don't have any control over them. Hopefully, like me, you've learned lessons from repeated incidences of foolishness, and hopefully you will do something like me, and hopefully it won't take you as long as it took me to realize that I wasn't going forward in the right direction. I am now. I don't mind talking about my past because my past is my past. I don't mind telling you that at one time I had no regard for anything. God did not have any place in my life whatsoever because the kind of lifestyle I lived, he would not have been happy with for sure. So I had no God in my life basically. I knew there was a God, but I didn't have him or actively participate in becoming a better person so that judgment day when I go before him I will be accepted. But I've done that now, so hopefully if you're a little bit younger, you will start to realize that you really have no control over everything, and you got to give thanks to God, because if he didn't love you, you won't be awake this morning, that's for sure. All right, beautiful, and hold on a minute, let me capture on that, because before somebody takes out of context, if you didn't awaken this morning, it just means that he wants you before you wanted to go and meet him. That's all. It doesn't mean anything different. Doesn't mean because you die he doesn't love you. It just means that he's ready for you to come and help him. He needs some assistance, so he's going to utilize you. All right, beautiful. Low tide. Now you understand the reason why we want to walk down here at this time, and that's because we can really see the width of this beach. At high tide, you can see how far up the sargassum is coming. You can see the embankment here where the sand is, where it starts to go up in elevation. That would indicate to you where the main high tide is coming up. When the waves get bigger, it's going to come up even further, so that's going to happen. So low tide is absolutely perfect time to bring you down here that you can see it. Now this beach right where it is, before, I'm talking like when I was in my teens, and well before teen as well, you know, all down here was the height of elevation of up there. A lot of the reef is exposed now, was under sand in the inside section in certain areas. It goes and comes at different times of year. Sometimes a year you're going to find out here limited sand. The tidal pools are going to be beautiful and deep because the sand would have been moved. Other times of year you get a settling, as long as there's no tropical systems around. At summertime you'll find all the beaches in Barbados settling. We like to call them settling or reshaping or reforming. However, this year we saw Beryl pass there early o'clock, did tremendous damage to our coastline. We're still trying to recuperate from that, as you can see. Out in the distance you got some serious water spouts and stuff. That is a lot of rain going to be out there in low water, sucking up rain off of the actual ocean, or sucking up water off of the ocean, I should say, creating the rain that's going to come back down later on. So they may have some showers later, but it's still beautiful because what's happening right now is, although we're not seeing the full intense sun, we are able to use the cloud as a natural filtration and be able to look directly in the direction of our sunrise this morning. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put you down for a second. I'm going to let you watch a little bit more of that sunrise and some of this beach here, because I'm going to scrape, so in case you are unable to hear me, I guess if you're unable to hear me, you won't be hearing what I'm saying now, but I'm still going to say it anyhow. So you'll be able to read who we are, just so you will know for sure. we want to let everyone know who we are. We're the Journey 246. We're the EMC Gathering, but we call ourselves the Journey 246 because we're all on a journey and we're from Barbados. So there you go, that explains it fairly clearly. 1 second. Enjoy this little bit of silence. You don't get too often, so enjoy it for now. Alright, that's it. So don't think you all can perform these stunts and stuff you all are seeing me do. Remember, I am a highly trained athlete, so I am able to do many things that most of you will not be able to do. And if you're able to do it, you obviously won't be able to do it as good as me because I'm an Olympian. But anyhow, you can give it a try if you'd like. Just like how amazingly gifted I am with my athletics, I'm also hold a gold medal in beach scribing. So you can see who we are now, the Journey 246. The heart symbolizes what we're all about love, all about happiness. All right, so our walk this morning was from just above there. You see the Bay Lounge, slightly over on the right of the center. We are right in the cleft of bushes in the middle. That's where we start out. They're the hills we came down. The adventures through these hills are quite amazing. Good morning, Mr. Hicologist, if you're on board. Time for us to get back up there, my brother. So let's do some talking about that. So if you come to Barbados, bring your hikers. There are a lot of hiking associations here. There are a lot of individuals that do hikes and stuff. You can always join them as well. Again, Google it up on your research on Barbados. Come and join someone. It's absolutely beautiful. We just walk out here to this point. We normally walk, or sometimes we walk in the other direction. By the way, this is a bar and restaurant. Don't know their hours. I'm not sure if they're open right through the week or whatever. But again, you can have a look at that. Put in Barclays Park, check your restaurant information in there. The restaurants all along the east coast, not like the west and south, but there are many of them strategically placed. Sand Dunes starts in Belplain itself. We went to 𝐶𝐈 Community down there the other day, so if you put in Belplain, 𝐶𝐈 Community, you will see Sand Dunes down there. Then it comes up along here, you have the same one, the Breezy. I think it's Cool and Breezy. Speaking on the correction, can't remember if your name has changed or whatever. And then when you start to go into, that would be it on this section in Bashaba, except for the small shops and stuff in Belplain where you can get any snacks or refreshments or anything like that. And then when you get down to Bashaba, you then have Rung House, you will have the Alliance Hotel, you have 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐶𝐒 on the east, you will have the Sea View as well, which is just up there, very, very popular now, up by the Hillcrest Community Centre. That's Sea View Bar, very nice location. Small, but nice for sure. But you have those options. And then again, you're spotted little shops all around that you can get what you desire if it's like a necessity or anything. Again, you're seeing this morning reef formation that you would not normally see when there's a high tide. So we stress and re-stress. If you're coming to Barbados and you're doing some beach hiking, have a look before you plan your vacation if you've not already done so. Or if you're here for 2 weeks, it's not a problem. You'll find a rotation anyhow. But research the low tide. Start your walks, if you're doing long walks, 2 hours prior to low, so the areas that you are going to get around at low tide, you'll be able to get back around before it turns to high tide, because obviously you're going in one direction, you probably want to come back in the other direction unless you're going to get a bus up from wherever you stop. So always time your walks, if you're doing long walks, hour to 2 hours prior to low, and then you'll run into hour to 2 hours after low, just before it starts to get really, really high. You'll be able to enjoy yourself and see things that you would not normally see, especially if you're on the east coast. You want to do the train line and stuff early morning before the sun comes up and starts to get really, really hot. Sand right here, compact. You can see it's being swept clean because the high tide's coming right up to where you're seeing the sargassum on the beach itself. So that is what's happening. The actual density or depth of this beach here has been depleted tremendously due to the barrel. So it would have come in, swept sand off onto the banks and stuff over here. It's starting to come back in, but there's really no height to this beach, as you can see. It's not strong. So a high tide with a big swell is going to run right up to the grass up here. Now remember, if you're coming to these areas and you're coming with you and your partner, we do not recommend coming and laying up on the bush up here. You are right now far away from anyone, except for, of course, you can see the restaurant there, and then the last house that is down here on Cattlewash coming in this direction is still around the corner. So you can appreciate that right now here is a pretty lonely area. So if you're coming down here, don't go and pull up in a little cove up in here and sandy areas. Remember, the hills have eyes. All right, these great bushes have eyes as well. So you just be very wary, okay? When you're in Barbados, we don't want you to throw caution to the wind. Act as though you're back home. Just enjoy the beauty and relax. But act as though, keep your security measures up. Just as though you're back home, because we are in a place that's filled with human beings, just like anywhere else in the world. So when you're finding situations such as this, put you in a vulnerable situation, you don't want to be going level or flat out up in these areas. Trust me, if you are here on this beach, you put down your towel, it's a matter of minutes until you're in La La Land, because you're going to just drift off. The piece of serenity out here is breathtaking. So you're going to go off. There are many of our notifications on some of the beaches in Barbados and areas where we have +4. +4 means that doesn't mean something's going to happen. All it means is I want to explain it. A lot of people may come across it and wonder what's going on. It just means that the area is conducive for a problem. So if you're in a bushy, isolated area such as this, you're going to want to exercise extreme caution. So especially as you go further northward or westward in the direction of walkers, etc., and it gets very, very lonely. So if you're coming to these areas, take pictures and things, fine. Walk in the areas, fine. But I don't recommend that you stay right up under the tree line, under the bush line, or do not lay your towels up in that section. Come further away where you have room. The reason we say +4 is if you're going with yourself, your partner, and 2 other people or more, you're going to have someone that's going to be moving around, getting a drink out the cooler, dusting off a towel, putting on sunblock, whatever. Maybe just strolling the beach, taking some photos. But someone will always be active. You and one person on the beach, generally, you will lay down, snuggle up, and then you will drop to sleep. So that is why we say +4. It's just so someone is alert and keeping attention around you. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. There's some north swells. Sort of north swells, not big ones, but north swells due to come in later on this evening. I think into tomorrow as well. Then we get some twists and moves of them where we go back to east, come back to the north. That is happening because of the system that's up in the northeast of us right now. That's up there developing more and more, projecting off, or as I say, projecting off some fairly large swells. So you're going to want to make sure and check out that if you're here as well too. You want to have a look and see, check the wave charts. When you see a north swell, go on the west coast and have a look at the west coast breaks. They are phenomenal. They are really, really world-class breaks, some of them. So go and have a look at those and see what it's like, because a lot of people think the west coast is like a lake or like a bathtub, never gets a swell. You will be very surprised at how big the west coast and dangerous it can get, just like the south and just like the east. Beautiful. All right, so we talked about Grand's Lookout. That sort of like right there in the center of the camera. You'll be able to come through that, through those village homes up there, and we've worked ourselves down. That is Grand's Lookout. Where we're parked is just up there on top of the cliff in the center of the camera now. So there are 2 different locations. There are many locations up there, but there are 2 main locations that you can view this kind of scenery from that elevation. You don't want to walk in only one direction. We're going to show you behind as well. Beautiful. Down in distance, the furthest point you're seeing, you should be able to see it, that would be down by Cove Bay. There the chalk cliffs are down at Cove Bay. The slight rise, it looks like a point that's just slightly to the left of that. That is known as Pico Tenerife. All right, again, that gives you some landmarks. You cannot see St. John's Church or Ragged Point from here. There would be obscured, Ragged Point being obscured by College Savannah, which is the furthest point that you're seeing now. That would be College Savannah. You can see a sharp elevation up there, dead center of the camera again. That's Hackton's Cliff. That is where you can go. There are 2 different Hackton's Cliffs. There's one that's known as Monkey Jump. That's up by Clifton. And then there's one down by Malvern. So the one by Malvern, much easier to get to, more of a public lookout point. The one up by Clifton, you do not want to be driving out there unless you have a monster 4x4. And again, if you have some folks with you. I took Jeanette out there one day. Here in the back, the neck was raised. We had to drive through grass that was over the height of the truck. But I do know the roads. I am an incredibly gifted person, so I have my own GPS system, so I knew where the road was. We dissected the grass, and I took her and let her have a look at it. But Not comfortable. Stayed there, took 2 photos, and then left again. Very isolated, very lonely. So we had a lot of rain, we mentioned. We're not going to turn back this way too often. You want to see sun? Put on your darker makers and have a good look. That is the sun this morning. The dawn of a new day. The blessings of life to be seen. All right, and then we talked about all the rain we've been having up in the hills. Remember the center, all of the water from up in the center areas of St. Thomas, etc., drain down into this area or the west coast. However, a lot of it comes down these hills and down St. Andrew in this general area, St. Joseph above. That will come down, and the only way off, you would have seen the ravines that they would run in. We showed you that. We showed you the kind of decaying of the actual surface and stuff where it runs. This is where it comes. There are a lot of drain areas at the bottom of these ravines that come out. This one could have been as far back as Beryl, but then we've also had, as I said, a lot of rain in the center up in just over the hill itself that would run down here. So generally, this would be sand right across here at the same level without this burst out section. So the one down at Lakes, just down below by Walkers itself, Green Pond, Long Pond, that's 2 areas that you'll find will be very similar to this area. Would have formed a pool on the beach, like a little mini lake on the beach, because obviously with the sea coming in, bringing in the sand again, building back at the front and redamming it, it's going to get smaller and smaller drift out to the actual water itself. So very soon, unless we get some very heavy torrential rains, you're going to find this will fill back in with sand, and you may not even see water coming down through here because it will seep through the sand itself. But this is a good look and see what it's like after the heavy rains in Barbados. But morning is really, truly awakening. All the browns and the very dark greens are now beginning to highlight. All of the fronts of buildings are now beginning to get reflections coming off in them, i.e. the water here. Just stunning and beautiful this morning. Yeah, I know it's even more beautiful because you have my shadow. And therefore, at least with my shadow, which is such an amazing shadow of an amazing individual, you're probably seeing a better view now than if you were standing here yourself. Just saying. If you all think that I only talk nonsense when my wife is with me, you've got to be making sport. That's why she fell in love with me, because the nonsense I talked before she met me. All right, so this area again, if you were coming back to the days, I can't tell you when, because you're going to tell me how old I was, you start using calculations. However, this was a very, very popular picnic spot right behind these great bush here. You used to come off of the actual road itself, just by where the welcome to St. Andrew and St. Joseph signs are, the actual boundary itself. You were driven down behind this sea grape, down a trough in sand dunes, and you were parked in there, and you would have come up here and had a big picnic and fun. That was it. There are many of them all along here, but this was one that I remember very clearly. Can't drive down there anymore because of all the different changes with the surrounding bush and growth, and also the movement of the soil, which we talked about, because down here has tremendous slippage. So can't really get down there. I guess you have a monster machine or a beast, you could. Actually, it's just in front of us. I'm sorry, just in front of us by the coconut trees, where you could have driven through the troughs and stuff. Quite beautiful though, absolutely beautiful. If you have never been to Barbados and witnessed a sunrise, you need to start changing your time schedule and setting up your bucket list. You're gonna want to experience a sunrise depending on what time of year you come. If you were coming in December or January, you are not going to see the sun coming off the water from here, because the sun is actually going to rise in that general area. Remember that the sun is now moving to the south, so days get shorter because it comes up more in the south, not overhead, directly overhead. Likewise in the evening, it goes down earlier because it's going down to the south. Give you a reference, if you're at Pebbles Beach, if you're not sure of Pebbles Beach, this may not make any sense to you, but if you're familiar with Pebbles, if you're at Pebbles Beach around November, December, January, you're going to be looking over the Hilton Jetty, or what used to be the Hilton Jetty, at the sunset. If you come in summer, like June and July, etc., around that time, May, June, July, you're going to see the sun coming off behind, or dropping behind the boats. So it's going to change tremendously, and obviously because of the path it takes over the island, being more to the south, we get less sunlight, just like you would get in your part of your hemisphere as well, where winter starts to bring a darker time and less hours to enjoy yourself. And that's because of the movement of the sun again. More drain areas all along here, quite spectacular. Really, really beautiful terrain, I must say, absolutely stunning. So this is where I thought about the big picnic spot just behind there, under those trees. That's where we used to drive down and have a lot of picnics, camp out there for the weekend. Anytime you had a bank holiday weekend, That's something you don't see much in Barbados now. Days gone by, in my teens, I ain't telling you the year neither. In my, my teens or early 20s, all of these little spots here, when you had a bank holiday weekend, where it's like a 3 or 4 day weekend, depending on where you work, etc., you will find all of these places had little tents and people would come for the entire weekend. I'm talking about 20, 30 people, a couple of families together and have big picnics. Right up in the hills here as well, you would have seen tents on numerous occasions, especially in summertime, around June, July, August. Quite beautiful this morning. The reflections off the sand, a little bit blinding, even though I have all my semi-darker makers. I hope you all remember our clauses, our underlying writings. If you damage your vision while you're on a vlog with us, that is your fault, because we tell you all the time to carry your darker makers wherever you go. If you're going out on a rainy day, carry your darker makers and put them over your head like a bando and hold back your afro or your hair from blowing in your face. That will also work as well. So you could pretty much travel with the darker makers all the time. Darker maker bandos. So you can do that. That's quite easy to do. Watch some Bajans, you will see that. We'll leave home with glasses or shades on our face and we'll wear them on our head all day. We'll look into the bright, brilliant sunlight and burn our pupils, but we will still not put them on because it's fashionable to wear them on your head or around your neck. Alright, so here the terrain is going to get battered because all the winds that come in this side of the island gets continuous winds. So everything looks as though it's sort of like shaped like a spoiler. It just drifts away from you because the wind's coming from here in general. You see all the trees, everything is sloped going inland. Again, that's all because of grain and intense and continuous winds all the time. Areas such as this you want to see later on, you will see the, well, let me get out the light a little bit, shine back the other direction. You will see the color of here. You can see there's actual moss that grows on this, which means it will be in the water most of the time. So this here is going to be obscured from your view, as well as all this other stuff out here is going to be obscured later on. So again, reasons why you want to do a low tide walk in Barbados, because that is the time you can see everything. All the coastline comes up, all the tidal pools come up, you can have a little swim. Remember, be extremely careful. If you're not familiar with over here, you're not around some locals, please do not go and see over here. It's taken many, I can reiterate that, many lives over the times that I've been alive, so I can tell you for sure. Be very careful. Going back again to my youth, whew, that's not so far away, it's just a little while ago. Yeah, all this would have been covered with sand because this beach, or most of the year, it would have been covered in sand because this beach was a thick beach. As kids, this embankment that you're seeing here, we used to run across to see who could get across it without falling off of the actual cliff as it gave way. As you can see, other people have been doing as they walk here. This is a really good time to see this actually, because under this you'll see the sargassum is actually holding the sand in place. So sargassum does play in many different ways a role that helps. This actually will hold all of this sand, or help to hold all this sand in place until it completely decays. As you can see, this almost looks like soil now. It no longer even looks like decaying sargassum, but you can see where it came from. It came from the actual sargassum itself. So it works like a netting and a mesh, the whole thing in place. All under here is sargassum that's holding this sand at the moment, because remember, all this place was white clean when we had the systems passing earlier this year. But beautiful. So this cliff would have been more out here, and it would have been maybe another 3 or 4 feet higher. So the actual strength of this beach has deteriorated a lot over the years. If you get a really intense high tide with a big north swell, or even a hurricane swell, hurricane passing to the north of the island, well to the north of the island, are going to generate swells that are going to come in here and go right up on the top of this beach here. So that tells you the lack of strength of the actual beach itself. You will find that on some of the beaches, the seasonal beaches, you will find they're very flat. They don't have any body to them because the sand goes and comes throughout the year depending on the tide change. It doesn't really have a chance to build because there's not always sand there. So you will find the seasonal beaches or the hidden beaches of Barbados, which we have started our series but haven't gone too far with them. Show you some of the beaches that you would not normally see, especially if you're not able to walk and go over rougher terrain. So we want to bring you all to Barbados. We want everyone to be able to enjoy the beauty of Barbados, whether you can walk or whether you can, even if you can't see, we want you to hear what's going on. That is my reason why I talk all the time. I talk, just so people will hear in case they have vision impairment. Well, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it, okay? I actually do love to talk, though. Sorry. I guess you all may not known that. I met some people recently, too, that said, Man, Nicholas, man, you don't talk at all. That girl Jeanette don't let you get in a word anymore. She's always talking. So she's not here today to deny that. And I'm sure she's not online anymore. She's probably gone to get another cup of coffee. So I may have got away with that. We are right now into 58 minutes into the awakening of Barbados this morning. Well, not the true awakening. True awakening was before that. However, we are now letting you experience what it's like to walk on this beach. It is now 25 to 7 Barbados time. Well, that's my watch, and my watch is always right, just like me, never wrong, always accurate. So that is the time right now. If your watch is not saying that, I do recommend that you adjust your watch to suit. You can give me a call if you need a more accurate countdown time, so you can be exactly and precise with me, so you'll be 100% accurate. All right, again, another washway. You can see the volume of sand that's moved. We talk about the strength of beaches and the depth of the sand, telling you that it can resist waves and conditions better. Like, for example, on the west coast, the strongest beach to me would be 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐶𝐶, but that also suffers. I've seen sea come right up into Mango Bay. I've seen sea come up into the condos, Palm Beach condos, you know, so right up into the actual, by the steps down to the garden area. So it depends on what swells are coming through, but the general swell pattern, I would say that besides Brandon's, I would say the next strong beach on the west coast would be 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐶𝐶. There are others as well, 𝐴LINE Bay, Reeds Bay, but they suffer consequences and are quite narrow strips of beach. A lot of times, especially on north swell time. But this here, you can see, you can look down here and see there's really no strength on the lower elevation here. Everything is pretty flat. See sand dunes up behind. Before we used to come down those there onto a lot more sand, and the sand used to go much further out. All this inside reef here would have been under sand in the days when I was a teenager. You wouldn't have seen them. All the outside areas are where you would have found tidal pools. These would be mainly under sand at that time. We're going to take a walk right up to 𝐶𝐿and. That's where we're going to stop today. Yes, I know it's over an hour. And yes, I know I have a long way to go back. Yes, I know I have to go uphill and I'm not coasting downhill. But I know my limitations, and I know that I am an amazingly gifted athlete that's super fit. So I know I can do all this here. You can see how serious I am about that. I am very serious about that. Having a good vision right now. Yes, you are looking away from the screen. Right, yes, you are not able to see. I am amazingly handsome. That's what I'm doing for now. I don't want to sort of like dull all this landscape, because I would look so incredible when he turns back around and say, man, Nicholas, turn the camera back on you. I prefer to watch you all morning. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to talk again. All right, we did talk to you before. We were walking up here, so we can show you as well. We did talk to you about how lonely this area is. All right, there's a highway that runs right behind here, as you would know. East Coast Road, Hermie-Bourne Highway. That is what is right behind here, just I would say maybe behind these plants here, about 100 yards approximately. Maybe that, or maybe less than that. But no one can see anything out here from that road. So basically, you're on your own when you're out here. This is why we like to mention that when you come to these areas, don't go and get nestled up in there. Yes, everybody wants a little bit of their own private time in their own little secluded area. But trust me, you want to be careful. You don't want to come to Barbados, fool around, and then go back home and say, man, Barbados has its problems. Well, you put yourself in a position, if you come here and pull your blanket right up underneath these bushes or in little coves. You're putting yourself in that situation, so don't blame Barbados. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does, you are to blame. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Again, I am just shocked at the lack of strength of this beach, because high tide is going to go right up to the growth up there. If you get high tide, when I say high tide with a swell, of course, not today possibly, maybe if the north swell does come in, but in general, you can see where it's going to different elevations. You can see where the sargassum is being swept clean. No one came out here this morning with a tractor and a rake and cleaned up this beach. This is as it is. This, believe it or not, is in September the 28th. We are seeing limited sargassum out here. For the last few years, that has not happened. For the last 2 years, the entire East Coast has been packed with sargassum for the entire time, right through summer. However, this year we're seeing a lot of reprieves. Yes, we are getting some, but we're not getting consistent and continuous floats that we were getting before. Hopefully it will not get bad again. If it does, well, it's beyond our control. But right now we can say it's not bad at all. This is the East Coast. It's looking beautiful. You can actually see here different colors of where the water would have come at high tide. You can see where it surged and sat and pooled for a little while just in front of us there. You can see all the different sections where it's wet and where it's dry. So when I tell you the difference between high tide and low tide, you can quite clearly see it. All this section here would have been getting sea coming up over it. Now, not that you couldn't walk it, but you'd be walking in water. So just mentioning that to see how high up it is coming. It's actually forming that little ridge here. That is the general high tide. You can see all of the debris and stuff. Remember, this is the east coast. So anything thrown off a ship, anything that washes out the hills, we're going to come in on this beach. So it's not that people come down here and litter, is that the litter finds its way here on this beach. There was a beach cleanup recently. So I know that a lot of work was done in valleys and gullies and stuff, and also on the beaches. So we're seeing today absolutely really nice conditions out here. It's beautiful. Let me give you all an official EMC photo up. Let me get my handsome photo out of it so it does not sort of like dilute the beauty, because I know that would sort of like take away your attention from everything else. And we're going to give you an EMC photo op. We are the only people in the world that gives you a move-in photo opportunity. So enjoy this. 20 seconds. Enjoy. And that pretty much does it. I didn't check the time. I was estimating, so if our timekeeper is on board, you can tell me whatever you want to say. We already know your clock doesn't work like mine anyhow, so, but I know you'll criticize me for sure. It was beautiful out here. First house. So from here right down to the restaurant, we showed you way down the road, in Barclays Park itself, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. So just be wary of these little patches and stuff. As I said before, nothing wrong with coming and putting your towel up here and laying on this beach. Nothing wrong with taking pictures, but please don't go up in little sections up in there because you want something more isolated, out of eyesight. Because you're well in eyesight, trust me, whether it be from the hills or somewhere else. Beautiful. There's a Barbados pool just above here. We're not going to go by that this morning. That's not our intention. We will show you that another time. But that is one of the deepest pools along the tidal pool range between here and Barbados. That is something that's very, very popular with a lot of people. In summer, when people are down here staying in these homes, you'll find them in that particular pool, all the time. However, it does fill with sand at certain times of the year. Again, these things happen. These are tidal things. So what you're seeing today, when you come down here in November, you may not see at all. November, December, in the usual peak season, you may not see any of this beachfront section here. It all depends on the movement of sand and the weather conditions that we have had that would have caused that movement of sand, and also normal natural different currents and tides at different times of year shifting sand differently. So what you may see on the beach today and you take a picture of and you send to a friend, and then they visit Barbados in another couple of months time, they're going to see something possibly entirely different, especially on the west coast and the south, where we had a lot of erosion due to the pass and barrel. You're going to see a lot of differences unless we get another weather system. Remember, September, October, late September, October is usually our deadliest time of the hurricane season. Just prior to the actual peaking, just in early June or in the October time, that's when the conversion zone is furthest to the south. Therefore, anything that pops up in the conversion zone that generally comes this way. We've seen a lot of very big systems around September and October for sure. So we don't know what's going to happen. Again, it's beyond our control. What can we do? Prepare. Buy some dry food, put it down, stock up on some water. That is practicing serenity, just doing what you can do. That's just a little reference for you to know. This is the last beach house on a stretch of Cattlewash until you get way beyond Barclays Park. It is, I don't know if they're up for rent or not. Just put in Cattlewash or Bashaba. Well, Cattlewash is where we are, so you can put in Cattlewash or East Coast Airbnbs. We do know a lot of people like to come to this side. We have quite a few of our family members that come over to the East Coast and spend their time over here. I know when I say come to the East Coast, fly to Barbados to come to the East Coast because they want a natural terrain. They want to hike, they want to wake up in the morning and see no one. They want to see that kind of natural beauty over there. Is that not just breathtaking? Can't let you get another 20 minutes, they'd be spoiling you. Let me go, sorry, 20 seconds, they'd be spoiling you. Let me go up. Let's see. All right, so we have a couple more homes coming up shortly. These carried a very simple name. First one was called Box by Box. Second one is called box by box 2. So these were actually, the original box by box down here was built literally by that. Pallets from box pallets, or wouldn't use wooden pallets, wooden box pieces. It was all put together, very basic, off of boxes, literally wooden boxes. They put it together. Obviously, roof would not have been a box, but the sides were very, very basic. A little modifications have gone over the time, but these have maintained the rustic beach style, something that I absolutely adore to see in Barbados. Not the big, huge concrete structure, multiple elevations. I like to see the original beach home in Barbados, and these are some of them here. As you walk further up, you'll see some bigger homes start to develop. We're not doing that this morning, but if you were walking further up, you would see them. But that's box by box and box by box too. You can see, very basic, but very beautiful. Big patio or big gallery that you can look out and enjoy the scenery, and why would you not want to? And as you can see, everything is very, very beach style as well. Really, really appreciated, you know, to see this continued. And there's still some other ones as well, but a lot of them have really modernized a lot, just taken away from it, sort of like its charm that we used to have over here. Remember, Barbados is stunning, Barbados is beautiful, but you will hear me and some other long-time Bajans or people that have been coming here to Barbados telling you about things and saying how amazing it was. It's not that it's not amazing still, but it is so very different now. You know, things have changed tremendously, like everything else in life. I'm sure where you reside at one time, unless you're a city person all your life, you would have seen the city come to find you in the country. It just happens. That's development called progress and stuff. So I don't know how much progress it is, but it's development. All right, so this kind of moss here, this is what you call throw-me dung moss. You step on this here, it has quite a bit of saturation in it. It can be very slippery. I just want to bring it here so you can see how beautiful and clean this water is today. The visibility is absolutely amazing. Look, no discoloration, no sargassum, no rainwater in the water, because we've been getting that recently. You would have been coming over the hills and you would have been seeing sort of like a strange color. It was actually rainwater that was running off of the hills. It was going into the sea. That was what was creating that. But right now, as you can see, visibility up here, this looks like anywhere on the west coast or anything. There's no sand moving around in it. Absolutely beautiful. And give you a little bit of a look across here. Take this in, man. Look, when you go to work today or when you see your friends today, say, listen, you gotta go and check beautiful Barbados here. Go and check this site here. Let them have a look at it. A lot of people may not believe in what we do or may scoff at it and say, I don't know what they're doing. There's no God. There's not. If you want to live your life without having a light to follow, a light of positivity, and something that generates love and happiness and comfort and joy, that is entirely up to you. But for myself, I can speak for Jeanette, and I would say I wouldn't say all, I would say majority of the EMC-Gatherings folks known as the Journey 246, we find beauty in life. So this is something here now that you can call a friend and say, take this in. If you have a friend that's not going to understand what we're doing, don't make any sense in calling them a waste of your time, because they're going to laugh at you. But if you have a friend that's similarly minded, that wants peace and happiness, enjoys beauty of nature and enjoys life in general and the beauty of others around you, or the beauty that's found in others around you, then please introduce them to our channel, because we don't want 1 million people and majority of them are just about nothing at all. They just don't care about anything. They don't care whether anyone has anything. All they were interested in is themselves. We don't want that. We want a gathering of people that are similarly minded, that wake up in the morning and give thanks for the life that they have been blessed with, and move on into the day and ask for comfort and support from the light that they follow. If that is who you are, or you have friends like that, please introduce them to our channel, because we need more people. The more love we have, the stronger the love becomes, and the further our EMC ripple of love spreads. All right, we said we were going to come up here to Zedland. We mentioned earlier on about how a lot of people have lost their lives. Well, a lot have lost their lives in Barbados and the sea in general. South, east, west, north, it doesn't make a difference. However, the east coast, although no one really bathes here, has claimed the most people. And that is because this is very deceiving. Right here, this reef that you're seeing now, it goes out to where those waves are breaking, and then it drops off a ledge and it starts to get deeper quickly. So the water is coming in there from a deep ocean and hitting that shelf, and that is what is happening. So if you're in here and you got caught by the rip currents and they carry you beyond that reef and you cannot really keep yourself buoyant, you will get driven into underwater caves and channels and different tunnels that you will not come out of. We have lost experienced watermen here in Barbados. We've lost an experienced, trying to remember his name now, I'll come back to me, Amelie. Thank you. It took me a little while. He came from a family of water people, ocean people. Snorkeled all of his life, surfed all of his life, well, up to the age of 16, and he lost his life while spearfishing on the East Coast. Exact details not known, but with the underwater caves and tunnels that we described and explained to you, there's a very serious possibility he got kept underneath. He could not get back out of one of the holes he was spearfishing in, possibly. We've also lost up and coming pro amateur surfer called, yes, everybody knows him already, 𝐷𝐶𝐻. 𝐷𝐶𝐻 lost his life right here. This is called Zedland because of his loss of life. This was called Box by Box. You will find the Burt Boys shredding out here on some videos. I mentioned their name because they have a video up there. There are many others that come out here and shred, but I've mentioned their name because of that reason. So they will come out here and shred off along with a lot of the other guys. And any international surfers that come down now following hurricane swells will find themselves out here if 𝐷𝐶𝐻 is not holding it correctly, or even find themselves out here if there's too many people at 𝐷𝐶𝐻. However, unfortunately, 𝐷𝐶𝐻, he came back out and told the guys that he was surfing with, I just got the most perfect wave of my life. That is what 𝐾 said, and unfortunately, after that, lost his life out here. Okay, so understand that you can be a professional and you can have grown up out here and you could have lived out there in these waters and you could still find yourself in some dire situations. Unfortunately, it can be a fatal one if that happens. So please be careful. This is 𝐷𝐶𝐻. He has a surfboard monument sort of like thing. I would say like it sounds like a statue here, and also one at 𝐶𝐻 as well. Just up on the road itself, you will probably see it. So you see this erect looking structure looking like a surfboard. That is to commemorate the loss of his life in this spot. He also has a tremendous trust fund that's going on right now, helps all the needy children and stuff. You can check them online. 𝐷𝐶𝐻, please have a look and see what they're doing, because although he has departed from us physically, he will live on because of that beautiful trust fund that's being set up and that fund that's being set up. Beautiful. All right, so we said, we say all the time, plans can change. Do not go into life thinking that this is how it will be today. Go into life, this is my advice to you, as this is what works for me. I'm not saying it works for everyone, okay? So understand, this is just me relaying my feelings to you. All right, so don't go into life saying this is how the day will be. Go into life saying this is how I would like the day to be. However, in case it goes this way or it goes that way, this is what I will do. So always have a backup plan. Have your backup plan, just as we are right now. We said we're going to end at the 𝐷𝐶𝐻 statue. We're not doing that. We're going to end by the Barbados pool because it's right here and the tide is absolutely perfect for me to explain it to you or show you it. So we're going to do that right now. Again, all along here, swept clean, no sand, no ridges, no big set of sand, no depth, no strength. Most of the reef that you're seeing here will be under sand at certain times of the year because again, it's all kind of seasonal movement and stuff. So you're seeing the low tide at its absolute perfect. I think it's 7:25 is low tide. So this is as good to perfect as you are going to get. We're walking in this direction so we can make our way back into the Barbados pool. You can actually see it. We're going to walk across here. Yes, that's right. We're going across here. I have all my hikers, so I can afford to walk across here quite comfortably. This is Barbados pool. See, it does bear a similarity to the shape of Barbados. This is a seriously sought spot in summer. Because when people come into this pool here, they want the pool for themselves sometimes. I've seen actual umbrellas being put. I have put an umbrella to stand right here and put my cooler on this rock in past times. So you will probably see that. You'll also see a lot of families using here for their kids and stuff. I'll show you why now. Around the actual edging of this pool, there are some sea urchins, cobblers. All right, so you be careful if you're going into this pool. Just be very careful, especially the sides. There's sort of like a step going down here, not a step, but it does angle looking like a step. There are also fish in here, as you will clear. Well, I don't know if you can clearly see it because it's a little bit murky in here. But yeah, there are fish in here as well, swimming around. And this is where you will come out or go in, or you can jump right in if you want. But this would be your exit. You can see the darker patches here. This is nothing like before because at one time they would have been all over. I wouldn't have had to come across here and reach out to show you a cobbler. But right there, all of those dark holes they have in cobblers. So they're needles or whatever you want to call them will be projecting out of the holes. So if you are stepping up here and you don't realize it, they're underneath here as well. You will step on those. Beach shoes recommended. Some people have hard foot. That's fine. Don't wear a hard foot. Walk across this, that's fine, up to you. If you get stuck in your foot, you know what to do. Immediately run and urinate on it because the heat will bring it out. So if you do get stuck and one breaks off your foot, that can help. So I gotta tell you, that's what's worked for me in the past. Urinate on it, heat will bring it out. If not, when you get home, on some candle grease, heat the candle grease, and that will also make it work its way out. Right? Check a pharmacist if you need to. If you need to check someone, you know, if anything happens like that, you can check them. There are people around that will help you. So this goes right out here. This has in quite a bit of, I would say, some rocks and also sand in the bottom. Sometimes a year you can find this. This is not a joke, maybe a foot deep, and that will be it, because it will have sand in here that has been trapped and it will not move until the next big swell. So certain times a year you'll come here, it can be shallow. Other times a year you can come here and it can actually be deeper than this. Right now, I would say the deepest point here was probably about chest deep for me. I'm a strappingly tall and huge guy, so I would say maybe about I don't know, maybe around 4 foot 6 inches or so, something like that. That's probably the depth of it right now. But you can see again, lower section, dark holes. That would be where the cobblers are. There are a lot of other little pools out here as well too. Again, depending on the tides and sea conditions. So you're not gonna come down here even at low tide on a day when there's a huge swell that's coming in, because if you do that, you're putting yourself in harm's way, because what will happen is when a set comes through, it will surge and come over here, and if you're not comfortably placed in one of these pools, you will get pulled right back out over this reef, off the ledge, and then you know what's going to happen. You're in some serious problems. All right, so you know, I know years ago we had a lifeguard hut that was set up just up there on the beach. I remember it because Ken Mears, who chief lifeguard himself, who is a long-time surfer, a friend of mine, he was actually one of the men that was stationed there at that lifeguard hut. However, one of the storms passed, I can't remember which it was, the lifeguard hut was swiped off of the beach, and they never put it back. And I think they never put it back basically because the sandbar, although it was deemed the safer area, the lifeguard hut tends to encourage people. If you see a lifeguard hut, everyone says, "Bae, they're on the lifeguard hut." So people were coming down here, the lifeguard hut was there, and they would go out and you see just in front of it, not knowing about the sandbar, which is also very dangerous. So that's probably why they never brought it back again, and they're not trying to encourage any swimming over here. So no lifeguard hut. Hopefully that is what it is. If it's not, I would think that still makes sense anyhow. Another little tidal pool. These are dotted all along the reef. It depends again on the tide and the swell size that's coming in. If there was a swell running, you wouldn't want to be sitting in here because you begin slammed against the outer wall of this section. But it is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. Again, some sand in the bottom. Sometimes a year you won't see that. It'll be much deeper. Sometimes this would not even exist as a pool. You walk by here and see a little sandy patch like a beach. So it depends again how far out you want to go. Depends again on the low tide. We have come out on the actual bar itself because we want to carry you out where you would not normally get to go with us or by yourself unless you found an extreme low tide. We have on our hikers, so we're walking over these here quite comfortably. You would know years ago these would be babies. You know, you would have had monsters out here, but there's still some around, so you have to be careful. Just watch where you're walking. Don't think that the darkness means that it's a nice, comfortable, solid place to walk. You can see the sea urchins. Further out we go, you would have seen them right in to the beach before. I'm talking about in an abundance. So things have changed. A lot of stuff is going on. I'm walking over this here and I'm trying not to step on them because I don't want to hurt them. I have on my massively outfitted hikers that would destroy this reef. No, not the reef, but anyhow. I gotta be careful here because someone will say, Nicholas said he was out there destroying the reef. So don't take everything I say seriously. I hope you're not. The only thing you need to remember is that I'm 53 years old. I was born on the 5th of April 1971. So if you're wondering how old I am, I've just told you. And as you also know, I don't tell lies. I only tell the truth all the time. I never make up things, and I'm always accurate and 100% perfect. Beautiful. So these waters you're seeing here, reflections, you're clearly seeing just now with us. There are little tidal pools. When you hear about tidal pools, this is what you'll find. There's some very popular ones up in Barbados where I spent a few days last week with my beautiful wife, and we just chilled out up there in the low tide, and we went in the tidal pools. And then when the high tide came in, we worked our way closer into the sand, but we still enjoyed them as well. Quite beautiful. A lot of sea urchins out here. This is not something I recommend walking across in beach shoes, because even beach shoes could get penetrated by these spikes for sure. So I wouldn't really walk across this reef here unless you're extremely cautious. But the further out you go, the more dense it become, and obviously it's going to get very difficult if you're out here to find your way back in, especially if you see a wave and you've got to run across here. So I recommend hikers if you can. I have on mine today because I came out the hills. I would probably have had on beach shoes and I wouldn't have been able to walk around out here with you and show you all of these here. A lot of fish get trapped in here as well, some beautiful little fish. So you can also come out here and enjoy all of that. It's called nature at its absolute best. It's like our own little aquarium right here in the water's edge for you. Just beautiful. I know we're going on a long time today, but as you may have heard, if you have not heard, my wife is presently not here. She's getting some checkups and stuff done. So she's just making sure she's in fine tune, because she has to keep up with me. So she has to be 100% condition. So she's gone out there for maybe for some modifications, putting a turbo booster or something, try and keep up with me, because that's pretty hard to do. So, anyhow, she's told me the love must go on. So next, share the love. So that's what we're doing this morning. We're bringing you out here so you can enjoy this beautiful scenery. It's an hour and 23 minutes into the vlog. I don't know how many people normally do that, but I'm actually in your company right now. I am feeling your presence. I am feeling your energy. I am seeing your thumbs up, which is a huge boost for us and inspiration for us, because it tells us you're enjoying what you're seeing and we're not wasting our time. So I am having a wonderful time out here. It's like walking right now with 40 friends. That is what it feels like. I have 40 family and friends. Just dropped 38. Someone didn't like to be my friend. All right, goodbye. You know, I'm walking with family and friends and loved ones. So it is a pleasure to do so. Although mine is a long one. I'm having a good time. And I'm sure that Jeanette right now is happy to be seeing Barbados and seeing how beautiful over here is. She knows how over here is. She's been over here, I would have to say, hundreds of times with me already. So she's seen out here quite often in all kind of conditions. So she knows exactly what I'm experiencing now. So she's obviously taking this walk with me this morning, which is very comforting for her, I'm sure. Hopefully it's comforting for you as well. All right, so we're going to show you a little bit more. We talked about the outside drop just beyond the reef itself. So this is one of the, like a suck. You can see what's happening here. All right, so if you get caught up here when the tide is in and you can't actually see this suck area here, you're going to find yourself in some serious trouble when it starts to pull water off. All right, so this is what we want to explain to you. Just beyond here, you can see where the actual reef just goes off. You can see the waves breaking. They're not big today, but you can see the turmoil here as well. That is all the currents and the backwash that's coming off of those same areas we talked about. You can see the outer bank there. There's just always exposed, gone again now. That is where it drops off. That is why the waves are breaking where they're breaking, because they're coming from deeper water and hitting there. Obviously, the swells get bigger, the further off it's going to break, because that swells get bigger. The moment the depth starts to go off, it tends to break further out, obviously. So that is what's happening there right now. But you do not want to get caught out there. This is a good example of why you do not want to get caught out here in this ocean. You are not coming back over that reef unless you're extremely skilled or very blessed. All right, so don't fool around out here, please. You see how far away we are right now? Just want to show you what low tide does. If you want to come to Barbados, and especially on the east coast, well, anywhere, because any of the coastlines are dramatically broader when there's a low tide. So if you want to have a really good beach exploration in Barbados, I recommend, as I said before, either planning your vacation around the low tide so you can get as many low tides as possible. Anytime you see a low tide coming on from around 3-4 o'clock in the morning, you're good for sunrise to walk on low tide. Anytime from there right up to 7-8 o'clock in the morning, because the tide is dropping off, as you can see. Very, very nice right now. It's absolutely perfect. I hope you all are enjoying this, because I'm having a wonderful time. I can't see your comments, unfortunately. Only if there's a surplus of comments and it gets like a little backlog, I might see it, because remember, there is a delay on our broadcast. We don't do that, so YouTube will delay. So you will be sending comments to me 10 seconds or 3 seconds or 4 seconds, depending on how big that delay is, after I am saying what I'm saying. So it doesn't come on the screen and stay, because what's on the screen for me is real time. So it's only if you get a backup that you will get coming through. Little pockets all out here, same thing we talk about. You've got to be careful. You've got to be real careful out here, because if you walk across this reef here unknowing at a higher tide, you're going to go into these holes. Again, hence, hikers on the reef, do not come out here in big shoes. Do not come out here barefoot. Not recommended at all. If you're really walking on the reefs, you're going to need something sturdy and strong, especially base. Really lovely out here this morning. I'm so happy. I have been blessed to be here, because to be honest with you, I could be in my bed missing this air this morning. My bed was feeling very comfortable this morning. I was very, very comfortable. I had my Jeanette pillow with me, and I was relaxing myself, and then I heard my alarm go off. I said, no, you gotta be joking. Let me get a cup of coffee quick, and let me get on the road, because I need to get this energy. This is where we get our energy from. This is where we hit our reset button in serenity such as this. And what I'm going to do right now, so you can really truthfully enjoy the serenity of out here, I'm going to walk a little further out on this bar for you. again showing you the dangers about here, because if you get caught in these areas, you will get sucked out. Don't even think you're gonna be able to stop and fight the force of the water that's pulling you out if you get caught in here. So you all be very careful. Don't come this far out. Make sure you're using tidal pools or much closer in. All right, so you can enjoy serenity, peace, and love, and the actual ambience about here. I'm gonna give you 2 circles of love, not 1, 2. Get that clear. 2 circles of love, which would obviously mean that we're gonna be doing a 720. So here we go. Mission complete, sir. Thank you very much. If you have found us this morning, if you're not sure who we are, and you just stumble on this vlog, whether it be this morning live or whether it be later on our YouTube, in our YouTube library, you may not know we are known as a Journey 246. Our official registered name is called EMC-Gatherings, the beauty of Barbados through our eyes. That is officially registered in the Barbados registry. It is registered as a business. We don't operate as a business. This is our journey. Hence the name, the Journey 246, the Journey of Barbados. It's all about love. It's all about sharing the love, which starts within the people of Barbados and then dressing it up with all the frills and all the glamour of the beautiful island itself. If you have also just stumbled on us, it means you don't have on your subscription, or you may be subscribed, you may not be subscribed, or you may be subscribed and don't have on your alerts. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Turn on your alerts. As you will have seen, if you did come across us this morning, we come on at any time. No notice. It's called surprise element. That is something we do now. It's a movement, a freedom of movement. The journey has changed tremendously. We were very regimental, which turned it into a job and not a journey. The journey must be done of the freedom of will. In other words, if you feel like going out today, you go out. If you feel like sharing a lot of love, you go and find somewhere with a lot of people. If you feel like going somewhere quiet like this here, and sharing some serenity and beauty, you do just that. But you do it when you feel like it, so that you're actually giving the best of yourself. It is not being forced at any time. Not that I ever forced, or that we ever forced any of our vlogs in the past. However, this is what we like to know as a freedom of movement. It's sort of like a breaking of all chains. There's no setup, there's no schedule. The only thing we have a schedule for right now are big events like CUNY Community, etc. Or if there's a big other community event going on, they're the kind of things that we may have scheduled. But otherwise that there, we are not on a scheduled basis. And even on those days, we could turn up at CUNY Community at 3 o'clock, we could turn up at 2 o'clock, we could turn up at 5 o'clock, we could turn up at 6 o'clock. It does not have a schedule per se. So it's nice to have you subscribe, because we want you with us. We don't want you to be watching this after. Yes, of course, if you want to watch it after because you're unable to be with us, fine. But if you're able to be with us and join us and give us the company and keep us in your hearts and also in your joy and in your thoughts, we would like you to do so for sure. You are known as the EMC Live Warriors. There are people that get up every time that they see the notification come up and come and join us, because they want to make sure that they're here to not only see but enhance what we're offering with comments and gestures and kindness. And that's what it's all about. So hopefully you'll understand that. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good morning. How are you going? You like to talk to our friends? No? Well, you have a blessed day, okay? Take care. Happy fishing day, my brother. All right? Beautiful. All right, so you see how beautiful their Saturday is starting. Again, you're going to see the PVC tubing that's laid out. You'll see this on the cliff. It wouldn't have wooden spikes like this here because on sand they're going to need to spike it in. They don't want a huge long pole to be walking about with, so they would have that kind of stuff. You will find them along the cliffs, especially on the east and the northeast of the island. This is what people do now, so they can throw numerous rods without having to worry about it getting pulled off the beach, etc. If anything strikes this rod, he's going to have a chance to get back up here and catch it. He will not lose any equipment or anything like that there. So that's basically what these are for. They're sort of like carrying 2 or 3 extra people with you to hold your rods for you while you relax and enjoy yourself. All right, here, this beach here, fairly broad right now. Although it is not much body. You can see where the high water mark is. There's not much body or strength on this beach at the moment. However, this is pretty much as wide as it gets, with more tonnage of sand on top of this here. But this is pretty much as wide as it gets. At this time of year, summer, we mentioned about how we get the building of sand and stuff. These are tidal pools at certain times of the year, like around Christmas time and stuff. You'll find very little sand in here, and you'll find little pools all along where we're walking. It's going to become a reef with pools in it. So this sand has settled here, but that is being protected by the reef. So the first big swell you get, this is going to start moving. When the north swells move in, it's going to start shifting all this sand again, so it will look completely different. But once again, unfortunately, the strength of this beach is not here anymore. What you're seeing up there by the great bush and stuff on the actual growth section there, from that height down, all the way down, I would say, to where you're seeing 𝐶𝐶 Beach, would have been that density of sand. So I'll give you a better view of it here. You could see how much sand has been lost, because that was level right out to where the coconut was, and then you would have had it tapering off at a, I don't know what degree angle, but I'd say a 30 or 40 degree angle. You would have been tapering from there right down to the water. However, as you can see, all of the strength of this beach has gone. This is a beautiful day. The sand has settled right down here. A lot of this has come from up on the actual beach section itself. Will get driven back up there. So I imagine when you come down in winter, if that's your preferred time of year for traveling, you will see the sand built back up on the inside section unless we get another severe system. So everything is going to change somewhat. What you're seeing now is you're seeing beautiful, beautiful Barbados at some of its best you can possibly imagine. None of the sand will be here come winter time. You will not find sand down there. It will be all driven back up onto the beach. That's obviously being displaced by barrel and other systems that have passed here as well. We're going to start right here with this big rock. I know we're going way further, we said, man, but I'm having a good time, and if I go home, I'm going to sit down there and think only about my wife being with me or not being with me. I don't have a choice about that. She's a huge part of my life, so when she's not around, I have a big void. I can't fill it, so why do I think about it? So being out here with you all takes my mind off of that, and I'm sure you being here with us takes your mind off of other things that may have been pressuring you before, challenges that you have no control over. However, being a human, you're going to definitely try and deal with everything and try and control everything. That's standard for human. Beautiful homes up here again. Even the homes over here, although they have taken a different shape than what we saw for the traditional home, like this one here, for example, that was on the East Coast. This is all you would have found, and you would have found here or one layer in on the land itself before. However, all of these hills behind here have now been developed into beautiful homes in those areas. They're absolutely breathtaking homes in some of these areas up in here. I know Blood and my cousins have 2 places up in there up for Airbnb, and also numerous other people. So just put in Cattlewash, or you can put in Barbados too, and it may direct you to Cattlewash, and have a look around, because a lot of these places are up for rental if you are so desiring. You will not find, or it'd be extremely unlikely you'll find anywhere down here in August, July, August, even into early September, because at that time, majority of the locals in Barbados who do staycations will be coming over here and enjoying accommodations over here. Many people actually have their homes reserved throughout year after year after year, a standing order. As soon as they finish one vacation, the order is already in before they even have to call, because they've been doing it so many years, because they book the same place year after year. I'm trying to get out my Sky water force field, so forgive me. I just don't want the camera equipment to get wet. I'm not too worried about the sprinkles, but if it gets any worse, I'll have my Sky water force field, or I'll shelter on the big rock. All right, call this round rock. Some people, it's not so. This is, I don't know if it's actually attached. I'm not sure if this is a rock that came out of the hill. They claim it came out of the hill, unlike the one in Barbados that will be attached to the actual coral surface itself. I believe this one is supposed to have rolled down the hill. Some people even said that the devil and his wife had a fight, his wife ran down the hill and he threw a rock behind her and she landed on her. So that is one of the old sayings in Barbados. We don't talk with the devil at all, but that is one of the traditional Bajan thoughts. So just thought we'd mention that to you. There are 3 routes up this rock here to the very top. You would have seen a bench in the distance. They had a stop sign up, a bus pole up there recently. So you may have seen pictures of that actually with the bus pole and with the bench on top of it. This would be that rock that you would have seen. We used to climb this here all the time when we were kids. There was a lot more sand in here though. The sand was a lot closer up the actual rock itself, so it was easy to get off of the sand onto the rock and climb. And as I said, there are 3 different ways I know of that you can get up on this here. Challenging, more challenging, and extremely challenging. Just to give you a little something, we're going to stop here, as we said. These homes here, all of these homes here, especially this one in front of us, it's known as the fort. These are subjected to north or hurricane swells. There are many times in the past that I have seen swells and waves come in through the bottom of this house here, through the ground floor, come all around these buildings above. You will notice that most of them are elevated up, but a lot of them have accommodations in the lower section. So we have seen, especially when hurricanes are passing and big north swells, incredibly big north swells, you'll find water coming right up through the basement of this house. I haven't seen that for a few years, but I have actually witnessed that myself. So that can also happen. So along here, a little bit vulnerable to the ocean, especially now the way that this beach is so weak, because this higher elevation you're seeing here would have been all down here by where you're seeing the water originally. You won't see this big covey looking effect here. That's not how it was years gone by. And behind here, it wouldn't drop off into what will form into a lake. It would have been even steeper and going up into the upper section where all the growth is, as you can see again. So it's all the water that's come down has bagged in this general area here and then worked its way out, whether it bagged from that washaway or bagged from the one up here, just a little further up. There's a big waterway just above here, just inside from where we are. We're not talking about that now because we're not there. But you can see the homes, you can see the road that leads up into the hills here. You can find homes from here right up into the highest section of those hills. So again, put in Cattlewash if you're looking for Airbnb in this area. Beautiful, beautiful Barbados. Yes, I have to walk back this entire way, all the way back. I don't mind because I'm not in a rush to go anywhere right now, as I said before. And I am able to bring this beautiful scenery with you, with the sun behind us now. You can actually look into the actual distance. You can see the white cliffs in the distance of Cove Bay. You're probably seeing a little bit outside of Cove Bay there. It looks as though it may be seeing a little bit of the point out by Little Bay itself. That is a possibility from what I can see here, because I see the chalk cliffs very clearly. And then I also see a little bit of landmass beyond that, which would be Little Bay section. You would have seen that in some of our coverage as well. Put in Little Bay in our YouTube channel. You will find out what this island looks like. If you have not got a map, our Explorations of Barbados map, compliments of the Journey 246, please have a look on. We have it in the community section on YouTube. We put a lot in the community section of YouTube, so don't think you're being left out. All the pictures we share, all the inspirational and motivational write-ins we share there as well. All of the upcoming events we share there, so we make sure that we cover all of our media sections. That would be IG, YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok. Jeanette works solely on the TikTok section. She's done some incredible little shorts up there, so you can have a look at those if you would like. We are all over, and we just want to spread further and further and bring more of this beauty to everyone. This is just stunning. This is breathtaking. Can you imagine waking up every morning in Barbados and having the opportunity to do that? That's what we do. So we're not here every morning now. We used to be. We have thousands. I think it's 1,500 videos or vlogs up on YouTube right now. So lots to see. As I said, we have a map of Barbados. It was done from a blank, where we put in names, the places that we call them. So you may hear someone say 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐍𝐶𝐒𝐒. And you say, 𝐊𝐶𝐃𝐍𝐶𝐒𝐒? When the clusters have that as map, that's because we call it Cove Bay. So that's how it is. A lot of the places were named after surfing breaks, that were named after hotels. I call those beaches by that still. I don't call them by the new name of the hotel or anything like that. I still maintain the original name. So the map helps you a lot. You can go on the map, see anywhere on the map that has a name, put that name in the search pattern in our channel on YouTube, and you can see the vlog or vlogs from that area. Sometimes we have a 4K up there because the signal is not good enough to carry a live. Sometimes you will see some blurry conditions and pixie conditions, and that is because we go all over the island and we can sometimes not get the cell signal that we really would desire. However, we still want to share the beauty with you, and live is the way we like to do it. That's what makes us very unique, is that we do our live vlogs so that you can actually walk with us and be with us whenever we vlog. or majority of the time, I say 99.999% of the time, you'll be able to walk with us as we're on a live vlog. Unlike others that we may take a 4K and dissect them and edit them and everything else, we believe in bringing you as it is. So what you are seeing is Barbados as it is. It's not the highlights that are being edited out, or the dull points are being edited out, or a piece of litter is being edited out, so you don't see that they got litter in Barbados, which I don't know why anybody would think there's no litter here, because everywhere in the world has litter. This is what we do. We bring you the true Barbados, the real Barbados. Whether every day we're going out to vlog and it has thunderstorms, we vlog any thunderstorms. If it's heavy rain, we can vlog under our sky water force field. You know, if there's a tropical storm, as we've done before, we've been out in a tropical storm. So, you know, we do the coverage for you because we want to see it for ourselves, and we want to share the beauty of Barbados to our eyes. Beauty of Barbados can sometimes not be so beautiful. It can be destructive. However, there's still beauty to be seen because we look for the beauty. If it was covered in sargassum, we would still be talking about the golden map, or we'd be talking about the same hills and stuff more. So that's just how it is. The beauty that surrounds us, we have to look for it. You want to look for negatives? You look for negatives. You want to look for the ugly? You can look for the ugly. There are plenty of them out there to be seen. However, that is what will rule your life. That is what you see. That is what you ingest. That is what you are going to breathe and expel all day. So if you want to see the beauty of life, you start looking for the beauty that surrounds us. The beauty in the people, the beauty in the location. Listen, even if you live in a city, I am sure somewhere has a great wall, a mural painted or something that you can sit and you can let yourself drift off. Or if you have the luxury of a computer, smartphone or anything, you can go onto our YouTube channel. As I said, we have 1,500 vlogs up there that covers the entire coastline of this island. If you have the map, you can pick anywhere in the map. You want to see what that place looks like, put in your name and there you go. You're covered again. That's what it's all about. We're bringing the beauty of Barbados to our eyes. Again, low tide. You know why you got to come out in low tide. We've explained that all morning. The beach is spectacular. Absolutely beautiful. The scenery is breathtaking. The air is as fresh as ever. I can show you how fresh the air is because what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you see. I'm going to turn on this microphone though, because you must hear me when I breathe. I just can't be doing it and then you don't hear me. You want to see me, I know that already, so I can let you hopefully hear me at the same time. So we're going to do that now. Here we go. Alright, I can turn the microphone so we ain't wasting time. We're going to do some breathing exercises here. So you want to breathe some fresh air, some fresh air. We are democratic. We believe in democracy. We believe in sharing stuff. So here we go. We're going to start now. And I'm going to take the first breath from you. If you don't take care of the vessel, you can't carry the work. So I don't take care of myself. I can wash my mask, my makeup, put it on first to help someone else. I can really help first. I'm going to do my own breath first. First breath is for me. First priority. Most times I'm not doing it. Greatest not to do it. So let me do it. I'm sorry if I had stayed a little while over that. That sensation was quite incredible. My eyes shut. This suppression here, this experience, policy actions. We give you that a little bit of trance over that. This one is for you. That's called good. And this one again is for I. And myself. See? That's democracy. Alright, so I need to get rid of this shield, so I'm going to give you my sky water force fields again anyway. You're going down right here. You're going to stop here for a second. You're going to put this on this angle. You're going to enjoy this while I put this in my backpack. I'll be with you in a minute. I don't know where you are, but you can only run equally beautiful. You can't be more beautiful than what you're taking in right now, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I just told you all I was going to put my backpack. I don't know where I got that word from. I always call it a haversack, but it's called the influence of my wife. So she says nobody knows what a backpack is, Nick. Or sorry, a haversack is. Everybody knows what a backpack is because Dora the Explorer. How many people know Dora the Explorer? I don't know any. So here we go. Beautiful again. We're going to start right here on the ridge. On the ridge, we're going to look in both directions. We're going to see the east coast from right out on the reef before we go. That will be our summation of today's vlog. I've had to say it's been beautiful. I've had a wonderful time. Thank you for being with us. We know a lot of you only come on for 5 minutes and then leave, and someone else may come on for another minute and then leave. Not relevant. Whatever you need, come and enjoy. Whatever you can gain a benefit from it, take it with you. Anything that you don't enjoy or you think you hear a lot of nonsense, just leave it behind. Just carry your peace and your serenity and your love that you have been given the opportunity to experience today. If you have not found it, I recommend you rewind this again. If you still don't see it or don't feel it, I definitely strongly suggest you find a very comfortable friend who is very positive, because you're in a position that you're going to need a little bit of assistance. Saying help is not a bad word. It's not a form of weakness. It's actually a form of strength, because we realize our limitations. We realize when we need assistance, so we ask for help. It's those that don't ask for help when they need it will find themselves in some peculiar situations. We hope that would not be you. So if you're not seeing serenity, you're not feeling peace, you haven't chuckled at least once today, even if it was at my nonsense, you know, I know it wouldn't be looking at me, because you probably marveled and ooh and ah when you saw me. But if you haven't had a chuckle, you haven't been able to smile today, you haven't had a reason to come to Barbados or to enjoy your island, then there's not much more we can really do. We brought you one of the most beautiful locations in this island. We brought you from right up in the hills, right down to the beach. We've taken you out on the coral reef, right out. We've shown you tidal pools. We've shown you nothing but beauty this morning. So hopefully you will carry that with you today. To all of our friends, family, and loved ones that are coming in, remember you're hikers. We would love you to join us. You know, you have to have transportation. No, we can't provide transportation for you. But if you are able to go out and you would like to go with us, please let us know when you're interested in going. There's an IM or WhatsApp or whatever. You know, our numbers are on our care cards, so you can always WhatsApp us there as well, or drop us an email or something. Let us know you are interested. Let us know approximately where you're staying. You don't have to say exactly where you're staying for your own security reasons. Not that we are dangerous, but remember you're working over media that people can see as well. So just let us know generally where you're staying, and we will let you know what day we'll be going out. We usually know, we can have a generally there a couple of days before. I would say right now at low tide this week, we're looking at be going out tomorrow again. I think there's a little north swell coming in we'd like to bring to you. I don't know about tomorrow, but whenever. Remember, it is not done on a regimental basis. It's done as a spiritual movement. When we are ready to move, when our spirits tell us, let's go and get a refresh again, we need some serenity, we need some beauty, we need some fresh air, we're going to do that. So just let us know though. Let's see what's going on. I see your live back on, so I don't know if I somehow lost a dip or something just now. Hopefully you didn't lose a signal. If you did, well, beyond our control. We practice serenity, so we can only do the best we can do. Have a blessed day, everyone. This is beautiful Barbados. You've almost had 2 hours of walking on the beach this morning. You've seen the tide. We started about an hour and a half before, hour and 3/4 before the actual low tide. Because we started just about 5 o'clock, 5:30 this morning. I think low tide was around 7:25 or so. So you have seen what it's like to walk on the beach at low tide. You will now understand, hopefully, why it's important to time your beach hikes and stuff, so you can enjoy this kind of beauty that you would not normally see. Normally you would pass here and it would look like that ocean, because all this would be underwater. Have a blessed day. Love from Barbados. Remember, if you don't forgive yourself, you cannot forgive anyone. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love anyone. Start with yourself. Today, you dedicate your time to being the best person that you can be. I will guarantee you that if you do that today and apply yourself that way, at the end of the day, you will still ask forgiveness, because you will make mistakes. We're not perfect. However, God will know that you have done it with the best ability that you could. You've given it your best. And I can promise you that when you put your head down, you will know tonight that you were the best that you could possibly be. Have a good day. Love you all.